Welcome. I'm Linnea Rogers. I'm with FranSmart representing Konala, the newest healthy fast food franchise. And Tyson, we have with us today. He is the newest Konala franchisee. So, congratulations, Tyson. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. My background is in operations. I spent the last 2 years operating Jersey Mike's stores. I worked my way up to a district manager position and just really excelled. Before that, I had a background and started a food truck out of college, and that allowed me to move up really quickly within the franchisee organization I was a part of. And it got to a point where I've always wanted to own my own business, and franchising was what I wanted to do. So I began looking for brands. My dad found Konala, which is local to our area, and just kind of happened. We started investigating and doing research turned into applying and making a purchase, and now I'm actually here running one of the stores. So funny how it all so quickly kind of worked out and fell
Yeah,
together.
that's so awesome. So, and tell me a little bit about what area are you from, and where are you developing Konala?
Yeah. So I am from Spokane, Washington. Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls, Idaho, where Konala originated, is just a 5 to 10 minute drive away from where we reside in Spokane. We live eastern Washington, but I've got family, friends, and connections in the Utah area. So we're going to be developing 5 stores in the Salt Lake area. Super super excited. We're going over real estate and getting all that fun stuff done now. So right now we're just taking a look at it, but it's been awesome because it's something local and close to us. So we get to see firsthand how great it is, how great the brand is on a daily basis. We get to be closer with the corporate team, which is awesome. So it was less of just a visit, right? And it's become a kind of just us growing to know the brand more and more as we develop as well.
Awesome. And so you ate the food, visited, obviously sounds like you guys were a customer and loved it. As you started doing your research, what really attracted you to Canola?
I'm sure every franchisee that says this about Konala will say it, but as an operator, I can truly speak of the simplicity of the brand and the operations. Not only that, but what also really drew me to is I think some brands have an it factor. I think some brands have that. It's hard to describe it other than saying that it factor, but you can tell that they are doing the right things. They're on the right track. I really feel like the market is begging for healthy, convenient food, and to turn it into a very quick, fast operation is just what the Canala team has done. And so between the simplicity and then just the demand that I believe healthy fast food has, it was not that it was a no-brainer because we did a lot of due diligence and research on it, but it was just a decision I felt very comfortable moving forward with.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I totally understand the it factor. I saw the brand online before we launched with it with FranSmart, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. But then got to visit, and it's just like, it's almost just like that warm, fuzzy feeling of like,
Yep.
okay, this is something special.
Yeah.
And I think that the people, the franchisors, obviously that they make that huge difference. So I know Trace has already told me he's thrilled to have you on the team and develop out the territory. Tell us a little bit about, you're with Jersey Mike's for a long time. That's a huge name in the food world. And just kind of tell us a little bit about the differences in, the operations or kind of anything that you want to point out into why you're excited about Kanala and running those locations.
Absolutely. First, Jersey Mike's is an incredible brand, and I really loved my time with them. I think they're an awesome company, and what they stand for really resonates with me. That was one thing that I needed for a company is for if I was going to franchise a brand, I needed the brand to resonate with me. And so Jersey Mike's is attention to detail and quality. Their focus on a high quality product for the customer was something that resonated with me, and just their emphasis and focus on people. Konala, the brand really resonates me because of their focus on health and things that I'm passionate about, and just being good for people. I pride myself on the fact that I get to sell food that is good for people, rather than, I don't want to say hurting them, but 1,000 calorie sandwiches aren't exactly ideal either. Operationally, we're able to get orders out really quickly. Today we had a wonderful lunch rush at the Konala division store here in Spokane, and our wait time was under 3 minutes for the entire lunch rush. And there's not fast food places that are doing that. That's with online orders, that's with cars in the drive-through, that's with in stores. We had a point where we were taking orders with two registers on in store because that's what we needed. And I love how quick and simplistic it is. That's what I'm excited to develop and kind of the operations side of things.
Yeah. And is there any, kind of even outside of the operation, I guess it's a huge part of it and the food, but have you noticed any differences with, maybe the labor, like how many people you need or the kitchen equipment?
I love how because it's such a simple operation, you are able to run lower labor. I think once you have a team that's dialed and trained, just from an operator's standpoint, you have to make sure your people are set, aces in places is what I like to call it. Make sure you have the right people in the right spot. But the oven, I'm sure if anybody out there watching has watched anything about Konala, the oven is incredible. They say it's Trace's favorite employee, but it makes the amount of cooking that you can do with these ovens, and the amount of different options and time frames it gives you makes it so that you don't need multiple people cooking food. You can have one person cooking food for a 3-hour lunch rush, and everything else is just an assembly. You look at Panera or Chipotle or Panda Express, any kind of similar concept. They have to be cooked. Multiple people are cooking food in the back while other folks are in front assembling. And those brands still do a great job. But Canal is going to blow up because it's such a simplistic model, and the labor can be so efficient that you can focus on customer service. You can focus on ensuring there's uh, a beautiful product that you're presenting to a customer, high quality, and not be having to throw so much labor at it from an operator's expense.
No, I totally agree. I actually came from Chick-fil-A before I was at FranSmart, so we obviously didn't have the assembly line, but it's just like you have so many people cooking different things. Like the kitchen was just a monster. And in any fast food or QSR, like that's the kitchen's always the heart of the business, right? Like that's what kind of keeps everything else running. But it's just kind of crazy that you need certain people to do certain things in big operations like that. You need a really great trained kitchen staff. Whereas, like,
Yes.
at Konala, it's easy enough for someone who's used to working a register to hop back in and make a bowl or
Yep.
throw something in the oven. You don't have to worry about getting grease splashed in your face and fryers ruining your clothes and all types of things.
Smelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I damaged my washing machine from all the oil and grease and everything that was always on my clothes.
I keep a bucket in my car for shoes, like just a
Yeah.
basket, right? A bin. Um, at Jersey Mike's, and now I don't have to because the kitchen is so clean. It just is not a worry that I have anymore. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Could you speak to, I mean, it sounds like Jersey Mike's was also very big on culture and,
Huge.
leadership in general. I think, in a lot of fast food places, and I can speak to Chick-fil-A, like that was a really important part of the development and growth. And I
Hmm.
really think the overall success of the brand. So can you kind of speak to what you see with Canola's culture and why you feel it's special?
Absolutely. I could go on for a while about this, so just kind of stop me whenever
No,
you
go
need.
ahead.
But I don't want to say a nerd, but I'm very passionate about learning about leadership, teams, organizations, and how to build a better, I guess, team within a business. I consider myself a culture-driven operator. And I think coming from Jersey Mike's, maybe that kind of is what helped me grow, and understand how important culture is. But it's everything. How you treat your people and how you treat the folks that are within your organization from top to bottom, crew member to district managers or above, franchisees, whoever it is within the organization. It's I want to say the lifeblood of a brand, because the more passionate people are, the better of an organization you're going to run. And so what I love about Konala and Trace and RJ and Melissa, Jamie, Sam, all their whole corporate team, first off, they've welcomed us with open arms. And we are like-minded people, my family, myself, and them, in the fact that we strive for greatness and we strive to be the best that we can be. Trace is a leader. He's someone that I respect, someone that I admire, and has a lot of knowledge and wisdom. And I love how there is a very real focus on leadership and how to develop people within Konala. They've got a list of books, 9 books that you should read as for any employee if they would like to better themselves. Some of them I had already read coming into our discovery day when we talk about that, and some of them I haven't read. And so the next one on my list is one that Trace recommended to me, and it's from the list. I'm an Audible guy. I like to when I drive listen to it or
Yeah.
just in headphones. But there's such a big focus on that with this team, I'm extremely confident that we will grow and that the system will grow and that we will sell more franchises, which is, the more brand awareness there is, better it is for franchisees. And it's just because of who and how these guys are, how they operate. It's been awesome to join the team, and I love it. It's been awesome.
Being in Jersey Mike's and seeing the operation, we already talked about labor, but the actual numbers when you saw Konala's item 19 and the EBITDA and things like that,
Yeah,
were you impressed and kind of surprised? It
I
being,
was. I
yeah,
was. Yeah. I think that looking at the item 19s, I was very impressed with their prime costs. Was impressed with their food and labor. They had run it really well, and had run great EBITDA. Cool thing is their item 19 was transparent and it adjusted for a franchisee so that you could see what EBITDA would have run with the fees that come with being a franchisee, right? The technology fee, the brand fee, and everything else that goes into that. So they were transparent about it. I could see the numbers. I was almost wowed a little bit. I'm new to drive-throughs coming from Jersey Mike's, and this drive-through is awesome. So lots for me to learn, but very impressed so far.
I think that's really great perspective. And even though you're in kind of the fast food world, it's such different models.
It
So
is, yeah.
interesting to see kind of how they operate differently. So I guess, with your Jersey Mike's background, where do you kind of see Konala going, and what, if there's other big food operators, big food franchisees out there looking at Konala, what would you say to them? And, how would you kind of say, what would your big point be to get
Yeah.
across?
I just think it's what the market wants. Proof is in people handing you their credit card or money in sales, right? Cash. And we have done awesome sales for the simple small operation that we are. I think that the concept in general is just perfect. Healthy is trending, right? And I think this is the best healthy concept out there, at least from my research. I think if you were looking to, if you were a larger franchisee, I'm just beginning, but if you're a larger franchisee looking to diversify, Konala would be an incredible model to add because it's simple, it's easy to operate, and the item 19 is great as well. Take a look at it. The proof is in the numbers, really.
You hit the nail on the head with every single item, and you're like, I'm surprised you and Trace didn't know each other, and like you guys are so similar. And I love how you just really embody the model and what he believes and how he operates and what they've built. So I think it's amazing that you found them, and you're going to be one of the first in your market to grow. So it's really
I'm
cool.
excited. I feel like it was a match made in heaven. I feel like everything that he believes, I feel like I'm just, younger version, right? A different person, but you can feel it's almost palpable. It's the beginning of something that will be bigger, and it's really cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool to be a part of.
Yeah, no, I think that's in the emerging brand world, because obviously FranSmart specializes in that. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of insane to see. At first, it's just kind of like it starts with this little fire, and then it's like, wow, it really is on every corner.
Spreads. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is really cool. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I'll touch on that. I think it has that kind of potential. I think that the market wants it bad enough that you could put these on, you could get a lot into different markets. And I don't want to say, every corner because, I want to make sure franchisees are protected. But I think it's just such a quick, easy, great product that people, healthy or not, want it. Most people in the world know that they need to be healthier. It's just I can't speak about it enough. Everything is gemming together, I feel like, and I'm excited to move forward, excited for growth.
Yeah, awesome. It was great to talk to you, Tyson. Thank you for everything today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy training schedule to
Of
come
course.
chat with us. So yeah, it was great to chat with you. And again, thanks for everything.
Of course, thank you, Linnea.